Hello, welcome to another Unwrapping. This time it's Tangerine Dream, Twilights of the Purple Twilight, which is 1980 to 83, which is one of my favourite periods. And there's a lot of recordings that haven't really seen the light of day for a long time. I mean, they're mentioning the keep on here, but I've actually already got the keep on Record Store Day vinyl. That was only this year. And it is the same tracks because I checked. But there is the Soldier on here. I don't think that's ever been released, so I can remember. Anyway, apparently these are remixed. Whether or not they're any better or not, time will tell. And if they are really extensively different, I'll leave a comment, pin it to the top or something. But I was gonna buy these, and I wasn't gonna buy them because I've got all the, Hyperborea, Exit, all these things, Logos. I call it Logos. Do you call it Logos or Logos? Sounds more like Hyperborea, like Phaedra, like Rubicon, Logos. Sounds like another place, Logos, not Logos. There we are. Anyway, there's just... And I noticed that someone had uploaded this entire album, all of these, 10 discs up to YouTube. So I played a few of them, listened to them, and I thought, no, I want the discs. And I also want the quality of... so I've got a CD transport of decoding it, there and then and listening to it, rather than, downloading it off the internet, making a file or burning a disc. No, I want the originals. Now this one's still going at a reasonable price. I paid about £80 for this, but it can be up to about 130. But the other one, the 1970s, that one is sort of virtually sold out, and it's going for stupid money now. They want about £400 for it on Amazon. Let's do a quick. You may wish to pause just to check what tracks are on here. But I've heard also that the accompanying booklet in here isn't just a collection of photos just whacked together. That it actually has been done really well. And with that and a possible remastering, we shall see. Right, gently does it. There we go. So let's see what it's laid out like and what the picture booklet's like. So it might be quite a long unwrapping, this one. So as I say, at the moment this is still available. The other one, not so much so unless they bring it out again. But for what you're getting, there's 10 discs. If it's less than £100, less than £10 a disc, it's not bad value, because most CDs seem to be about £10 a disc these days, don't they? Right, so there's the outer sleeve. We've already looked at that, haven't we? It's looking a bit blue on the camera monitor, but this is actually a purple finish if it looks blue on there. So it is Pilots of the Purple Twilight, which is Exit, isn't it? Love Exit. Right, discs 1 to 5, let's do that. Let's have a quick look at those. Okay. Oh, okay. So, there's Tangram. I wonder if that's going to be any different to my version. So, I mean, sound quality wise, I don't think it's scratchy holder. Yeah. Don't like this sort of thing where it can be quite easy. I think there's a different version of Dr. Destructo on Thief. Yeah, Dr. Destructo, and another one, extended version. So that may be different to yours. I'm pretty sure there was 2 releases of Thief anyway, one had that on. Exit. I never get fed up of listening to this. I once heard it in an altered state, and I'll never forget it. Wish I could again, really, but there we are. Now that looks interesting, because that looks like that White Eagle. That looks like the album, as far as I remember. It's got a different cover. Not too sure if I like these. I guess right. So here we are. It's the Soldiers. This is the one that I've never heard this one. And I used to get quite a lot of their soundtracks on the Saraband label. And they were quite rough. Sometimes you could hear, well, they haven't pulled the faders down properly. You could hear bits that hadn't even been faded up. And they weren't faded in or out. They were like very rough cuts for film. But I quite like that. 3 O'Clock High is a good example of that, where it's just bits and bobs. There we go. That's the first lot. So I can remember actually buying these as they came out in the 80s, you know. And I did actually buy them on CD at the time, I think it was. Certainly from about Exit onwards. No, I bought Hyperborea on vinyl, I think, actually. The Dominion Concert Part 1. So what we've got now. Dominion Part 1. Dominion London. Thank you for being patient. What? Please welcome Tangerine Dream. So as far as I can see here, there is an extra encore. Part 2. We've got White Eagle. Midnight in Tula, Dominion Concert Part 2. Oh, right, okay. All right. Oh, so I'm just clicking now. Part 1 is just on one disc, so I wonder if Part 1 is much longer now. Or is it the one that normally was... So I don't know if you ever had the vinyl version. It was just getting good, and there's a nice long bass note, and then you had to turn the record over. You don't get it on the CD, of course. Maybe it's just that one track. So this is going to be very interesting. I love this logos. Love it. Great. So that I'm very, very excited to hear that. Very excited. And oh. Is this another one? Part 1, Part 2, Dominion. So I'm guessing this is the one I've got. So is that a completely different concert? Is this Dominion? Still Dominion. The Dominion Concert Part 1. Now it just says Logos Part 1, Logos Part 2. And then Dominion, and Dominion's the 4th track there. So I don't know. Anyway, there we go. That's something interesting to... So we've got 3 discs concerning Logos. What have we got on Hyperborea? Oh, we've got Hyperborea and Risky Business together. So I've got both of those separately. But it looks like they might have taken out... It's on Risky Business. There's some other music from different people. I think it's got a Muddy Waters track on there. A bit like Flashpoint. That's got a... I think the title track of Flashpoint's a different one. Oh, and here's The Keep. A lot of people would be interested in that one. There we are. I just wish... I suppose there's only so many different ways you can do it, and you don't want these actually coming out in transport and then flying around inside, do you? So they've got to be held in. But maybe a bit liable to scratching there. So, as well as these two sort of LP-like, they do look like... oh, well, let's just show you the back actually, haven't I? There we go. And the first one, the back is only what's... We've already seen what's on there. So yeah, these look like albums, don't they? But they've got CDs in. But now this book, it's quite a substantial book. Nice hard... Oh, that's from... I've got that on 12-inch. It's Warsaw Poland concert, isn't it? Fine. Oh, what's it? Bird. Rare Bird. The back of the Rare Bird 12-inch, that is. Right then. So let's move it up here a bit. There we go. Take out the way of that shine. Alright, so there we go. That's got to be like the Dominion concert. It's that era. There's lots and lots of Waldorf microwaves at the time for some reason, loads of them. And all the modular Moog stuff, Moog is all gone, other than there's Model D there. He's got all the sequencers, hasn't he, still, but they're different. Yeah, they're very much into the more hybrid and digital as well as analog in this sort of 80s stage. None the worse for it though, some of the sounds are fantastic. So once again we go over. So what's it say about Dominion? Just who engineered it. Live at Dominion, 6th of November 1982. Dominion Theatre. I don't know. Anyway, time will tell. Time will tell. And I mean, they're still going, but of course, it's like it's a bit like Sugar Babes, isn't it? They're a completely different group now. I mean, I know that Glickenhaus and Chris Frank were a long time together, and the other one changed, didn't it, occasionally. But now well, sadly, Edgar's no longer with us, of course, and Chris Frank left some time ago. I bought his solo album. I didn't like it very much. I thought being the old drummer and whatever, I thought there was going to be a lot of rhythmic stuff, but there wasn't. Well, that's an earlier picture. He's got longer hair there, with a Prophet 5. They're very thick pages. Really nice, thick, quality pages. Tangram inner bag. Now there's an older one. Elka strings as well there. So this would be something quite nice while I'm sat down listening to some of these albums, to have a little flick through. It's not much to read though, it's more pictures. I think I'd rather have a book with mainly pictures in, to be honest. It's like mark these moments in time. That looks like the American concerts. Looks like a bit earlier to me, that does. PPG wave term there. So there's a little bit about each album, then we go for like artwork to do with the album. Well, there's thick pages. So we're in 1981. Oh, I know that now. What's that off of? Is it off Poland again? That's familiar. Some of these aren't familiar, some of these pictures. I'm not sure if I've seen all of these before. They're not just album. That used to really get to me, that did. Looking at that. I stared at that once, looking through the whole of Exit. I think that's Jerome at the bottom there. So it's like... I don't know what it reminded me of. It reminded me of something like Space 1999 or something like that. Some of my favourite tracks are on Exit. It's definitely my favourite era. I don't know about you, I don't like it quite so much when they do the guitar solos and things, or saxophone solos as it became later on. I'd rather it was just purely electronic, but maybe that's just me. I prefer it about the guitar stuff. Some White Eagle. There's some really high pitched stuff on White Eagle, isn't there? Some really trebly sounds, especially at the beginning. No, it might be custom gear here. Doesn't look very familiar, some of these things. In concert. I've seen them a few times myself. I've seen them in Bristol. They once played the Hippodrome. I think it was the one after Logos I saw, and they did the Hippodrome, came back a few years later. But it wasn't named after an album, it was just... I can't think what it was. I don't even recognise the tracks. I don't think they ever even released what I heard that time. And then the one after was in the Colston Hole. That was a few years after that, and I recorded it. I've got a tape of it, still got it. I've got my own bootleg. There is one other bootleg of it out there, but it's not mine. I recorded it on the Sony Professional on a metal tape. Logos. Oh, the Mano Mobile. Cash Manoeuvres used that. Oh, Hyperborea. I mean, track number 2, Hyperborea, that just lovely bass sounds. Beautiful. Just drift right off. And now it reminds me of being quite a bit younger than I am now. But yet it still sounds as fresh as when I first heard it. It doesn't sound in the least bit dated. And like Sphinx Lightning at the end is just like... it's not like anything else actually, Sphinx Lightning. It still sounds modern, it sounds bright and digital. There we go. I actually watched this the other day because I'd never seen it. It was alright, it wasn't fantastic, but you know, it was a long time ago it was made. No? Oh, I think this is well worth getting for less than 100, isn't it? I mean, the book. Oh, I haven't seen that one with the keep. That's on the back of the album. Oh, Oberheim. Ah, that's a nice shot. I wonder what they were recording here. The Berlin studio in 1984. Oh, maybe it's Hyperborea. Wow. So I'm just sorry, I'm just drifting off a little bit here. I'm just lovely. I think that's better than most books you get with, you know, sometimes like the Kate Bush ones were just like whacked out, weren't they? No real thought about, you know, doing it properly. But this is lovely, really nice. So I found it for just over £80 at the moment. I see the other one's 400. Well, the 70s one. Yes. Okay, thanks for watching. See you again next time.